They lied to you, they betrayed you, they left you broken, and now the fire inside is eating you alive, piece by piece, and the scariest part is, you don't even know how close you are to losing it all. Have you ever been hurt by someone you trusted deeply? Maybe a friend lied. Maybe a partner left. Maybe a boss disrespected you. That pain feels heavy. It sits inside your heart like a stone. At first, you tell yourself it's fine. But slowly, the wound grows. You replay the memory every day. You think of what they did. You wonder why it happened to you. The pain doesn't leave. It follows you. That is how bitterness begins. It doesn't scream. It whispers. It tells you to stay angry. It tells you to never forgive. It tells you to close your heart forever. It feels safe. But it is a trap. You see, life always gives you two roads after pain. One road is dark. It is bitterness. On that road, you blame, you complain, you suffer. The other road is light. It is growth. On that road, you learn, rise, live. The choice sounds simple, but it is not. Because bitterness feels powerful. It makes you think, I will never forgive. I will never forget. You believe you are strong. But really, bitterness is stealing your life. Time does not heal wounds. Choices heal wounds. One person spends 10 years bitter and becomes smaller. Another person spends 10 years growing and becomes stronger. Same years, different decision. Let me ask you now, what are you carrying? Are you carrying lessons or are you carrying poison? Because every day you hold on to bitterness, you are giving it power over your life. The truth is, bitterness doesn't punish the person who hurt you. They move on. They live their life. You are the one who stays stuck. You are the one who loses peace. You are the one who pays. But imagine this, what if your pain became fuel instead of poison? What if you took the betrayal, the rejection, the failure, and used it to grow, to fight, to rise? That is the power of being better. Every great person you admire has faced pain. They were rejected. They were betrayed. They were laughed at. The difference is they didn't stay bitter. They turned pain into power. And so can you. So today, you stand at a crossroad. The bitter road or the better road. One will shrink your life. One will expand it. One will trap you. One will free you. Which one will you choose? This is the journey of this story. In the next chapters, I will show you how to escape bitterness, step by step. Not theory, but real change. Not fake hope, but truth. The choice is yours, be better or stay bitter. When someone hurts you, your first reaction is pain. Then anger. Then silence. But what comes after is the most dangerous part. It is the choice to carry that hurt like a backpack filled with stones. At first, you feel strong. You think, I will never forgive. I will never forget. You believe that holding on to anger keeps you safe. But slowly, you don't notice how heavy it has become. Bitterness steals your smile. You laugh less. You dream less. You stop trusting people. You wake up tired, even if you slept. Because the real weight is not on your shoulders, it's inside your soul. It changes how you see the world. A kind person smiles at you, but you think, they will betray me too. A new chance comes, but you say, why try? It will fail. This is not life. This is a prison. The hardest part is, bitterness feels natural. You don't even notice it growing. It becomes normal to complain, normal to doubt, normal to expect the worst. But normal is not the same as healthy. Have you seen an old fruit left too long on a table? It was sweet once. But now it is dry, bitter, and rotten. That is what happens to the heart when it holds on to pain too long. It loses its sweetness. But you are not a fruit. You are alive. You are human. And humans can change. The same heart that holds bitterness can also hold wisdom. The same wound that hurts you can also teach you. The truth is, bitterness does not protect you. It destroys you slowly, quietly, without noise. It takes your energy, your peace, and your future. And the only way to stop it is to choose something different. You can choose to see pain as a teacher, not a punishment. You can choose to take the stone out of your backpack, one by one. You can choose to be better, even when life was bitter. But the first step is honesty. To look in the mirror and say, yes, I am bitter. Yes, I am tired. Yes, I need change. Only when you admit the weight can you finally put it down. And when you do, you will discover something powerful. The lighter your heart becomes, the freer your life feels. Because better is not about forgetting the pain. It's about transforming it into strength. It shows up in small ways first. You avoid people. You don't reply to messages. You stop sharing your thoughts because you think no one will understand. And slowly, your world becomes smaller. You tell yourself it's safer this way. Less people means less pain. Less trust means less betrayal. But the truth is, less life also means less joy. The walls you build to protect yourself also block your light. Bitterness also speaks in your thoughts. You wake up and the first voice in your head is doubt. Nothing will change. No one cares. Why even try? That voice feels real, but it is just bitterness pretending to be truth. And here's the secret, bitterness is patient. It doesn't need to break you in one day. It just needs to whisper every morning until you stop believing in yourself. That is how it wins. Have you ever noticed how one bad memory can destroy 10 good ones? Someone praised you yesterday, but today you only remember the insult from last year. That is bitterness feeding on your past. But you don't have to keep feeding it. Because bitterness grows like fire. The more you give it, the stronger it burns. The less you give it, the weaker it becomes. You choose which fire to feed. There is another fire inside you. It is hope. It is courage. It is love. It may look small now, like a candle in a storm. But if you protect it, feed it, believe in it, that fire will grow brighter than bitterness ever could. Think about it. Every person you admire today has faced betrayal, rejection, or failure. What made them rise was not the absence of pain. It was their refusal to stay bitter. Bitterness says, stop. Growth says, go. Bitterness says, it's over. Growth says, it's only the beginning. Which voice will you believe? The one that shrinks you, or the one that lifts you? The truth is, you cannot control who hurt you. You cannot change what they did. But you can control what you do next. That is your power. That is your freedom. So today, I want you to notice the voice of bitterness in your mind. And instead of obeying it, ask one question: what if I chose to be better instead? That question is the beginning of transformation. Because in the end, bitterness is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It shows you what you don't want to become. And once you learn that, you can finally begin the journey of becoming better. Most people don't notice they are making this choice. They think life just happens. They think bitterness is automatic. But in truth, it's a decision repeated thousands of times, often without words. When something bad happens, you can choose two reactions. You can say, why me? Life is unfair. That is the bitter path. Or you can say, this hurts, but I will grow through it. That is the better path. It doesn't mean ignoring pain. Pain is real. Pain needs to be felt. But the difference is what you do after you feel it. Do you replay it forever, or do you use it to move forward? That choice decides your future. Bitterness is like drinking poison slowly every day. At first, you barely taste it. But after months and years, it becomes your blood. It changes how you see yourself, others, and life itself. Better, on the other hand, is like medicine. It may taste bitter at first. Forgiving, letting go, starting again, none of that feels easy. But step by step, it heals your mind, your body, and your soul. You might think, but I don't know how to choose better. The truth is, you don't need a perfect plan. You just need one small action. One better word, one better thought, one better step. That is enough to start. Imagine two people standing in a storm. One curses the rain, blames the sky, and stays frozen. The other takes a step forward, soaked but moving. Who do you think reaches safety first? The one who moves. Life is like that. Bitterness makes you stay frozen in yesterday's storm. Better makes you move toward tomorrow's sunshine. The rain may still fall, but at least you are walking toward light. Every time you choose better, even in the smallest way, you are building a new identity. You are saying, I am not a victim. I am not stuck. I am someone who grows. And that belief becomes your new strength. The bitter road feels easier at first because it asks nothing of you. The better road feels harder because it demands courage. But only one of them leads to freedom. And that is the road you deserve. So tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself, did I choose bitter or better today? Your answer will not only shape your tomorrow. It will shape your entire life. It says, I can't forgive because it hurt too much. It says, I can't start again because I failed before. It says, I can't trust because everyone will betray me. These excuses feel safe. But excuses are just walls. They don't protect you. They only keep you locked inside a smaller life. You think you are defending yourself, but really you are defending your prison. The bitter heart collects excuses like treasures. It repeats them again and again until they sound like truth. But excuses are lies dressed as comfort. They give you rest today but steal your tomorrow. Let's be honest. No one has a perfect life. Everyone faces pain, betrayal, or failure. The difference is not in what happened to them. The difference is in what they decided after it happened. Some people rise with less. Some people stay bitter with more. That proves it's not about circumstances. It's about choice. It's about refusing to let excuses decide your destiny. Think of someone you admire. Maybe an athlete, an artist, or a leader. Do you think they had no pain? No betrayal? No rejection? Of course they did. But they used their pain as fuel, not as a reason to stop. Bitterness says, I can't. Better says, I'll try. Bitterness says, it's not my fault. Better says, it's my responsibility now. One voice locks you. The other voice frees you. You might say, but it's not fair. I didn't deserve this. You are right. It wasn't fair. But staying bitter won't make it fair. It will only make you lose twice, once in the past, and once in the present. The truth is, excuses feel heavy only until you see them clearly. Once you admit, yes, I am making excuses, the walls begin to crack. And through those cracks, light begins to enter. Better starts with honesty. Honesty is not weakness. It is power. It is saying, yes, I was hurt. Yes, I am afraid. But I refuse to stay here forever. That is the first step to freedom. So ask yourself, what excuse am I using to stay bitter? And then ask, what small action can I take today to be better? The answers may be simple, but they will change everything. When you're hurt, it feels easier to stay in the same place. Same routine, same people, same thoughts. No risk, no change. You think you are protecting yourself, but you are actually shrinking. Comfort feels sweet in the moment. You don't have to try. You don't have to face rejection. You don't have to feel fear. But over time, comfort turns into a cage with invisible bars. Bitterness loves this cage. It whispers, stay here. Don't try again. Don't trust again. Don't dream again. And if you listen, you slowly stop living. You exist, but you don't grow. Think about a seed. If it stays underground, it never becomes a tree. It has to break through the soil, face the sun, and push against the wind. Only then does it grow strong and beautiful. You are the same. If you stay buried in the soil of bitterness, you will never see your true potential. Growth requires discomfort. Healing requires risk. Better requires courage. The truth is, your comfort zone is not comfort at all. It is quiet suffering. You smile less, you laugh less, you expect less. And one day, you realize you lost years waiting for nothing to change. The people who rise are not the ones who had no fear. They are the ones who acted despite fear. They chose better even when their voice was shaking, even when their hands were trembling. Leaving the comfort zone does not mean jumping into chaos. It means taking small brave steps. Speaking up once. Trying something new. Trusting again, even carefully. Every step makes you stronger. Bitterness keeps you frozen. Better keeps you moving. And movement, no matter how small, is what builds a new life. You don't need giant leaps. You just need daily steps. So ask yourself, what is one thing I can do today that scares me a little but grows me a lot? That one step may open the door to a new version of you. The seed never knows how tall it can become until it breaks the ground. And you will never know how strong you are until you leave bitterness behind and choose the courage of growth. Because better is not found in safety. Better is found in bravery. And your comfort zone may feel safe, but your future is waiting outside of it. Every day you wake up with two voices inside. One says, stay bitter. Stay angry. Stay small. The other says, be better. Try again. Rise. And you must decide which one will win today. It's not your enemy outside who holds you back. It's not your boss, your friend, or your family. It is the voice inside that whispers doubt and fear. That inner enemy is stronger than any outsider. Imagine two wolves living in your heart. One is bitter, angry, jealous, afraid. The other is better, hopeful, kind, strong. Which one grows? The one you feed. Always the one you feed. When you repeat the bitter story, you feed the bitter wolf. When you forgive, when you try again, when you move forward, you feed the better wolf. Your daily choices decide which wolf becomes powerful. This is why change feels so hard. You are not only fighting memories. You are fighting habits. Every time you choose bitterness, it becomes easier to stay bitter tomorrow. Every time you choose better, it becomes easier to rise again. The truth is, no one can fight this battle for you. People can inspire you, teach you, or support you. But only you can decide which voice wins in your own head. This fight is personal. And don't expect perfection. Some days bitterness will win. Some days better will win. That's okay. What matters is the pattern. Over time, choose better more often. Slowly, your identity will change. Think about exercise. The first workout is painful. The second is hard. But with time, your body grows stronger. The same is true with your mind. Every time you fight bitterness, your mental muscle grows. So don't say, I am a bitter person. Say instead, I am learning to be better. Because this is not about being perfect today. It is about growing stronger tomorrow. You versus you. That is the only competition that matters. And every small victory against bitterness is a step toward freedom. Remember, bitterness may always knock on your door. But you don't have to let it live inside. You can choose, again and again, to be better. Most days you won't feel like forgiving. You won't feel like trying again. You won't feel like starting new. And if you wait until you feel ready, you may wait your whole life. That is why willpower matters. Willpower is the ability to do the right thing even when you don't feel like it. It is saying, I choose better, even though my feelings are screaming bitter. Successful people are not always motivated. They are not always happy. But they show up. They work, they practice, they move forward, even on the days when their heart feels heavy. Think about it. You don't feel like brushing your teeth every night. But you do it because it's important. The same rule applies to your future. You can't wait for the perfect mood. You must build discipline. Bitterness is easy because it follows feelings. It says, I feel angry, so I'll stay angry. I feel afraid, so I won't try. But better says, I feel tired, but I'll move anyway. I feel scared, but I'll try anyway. Willpower is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. At first, it feels impossible. But every time you choose better over bitter, you build strength you didn't know you had. Start small. Decide one rule for yourself and don't break it. For example, I won't use my phone after midnight. Or, I will read 5 minutes a day. Or, I will say one kind word daily. These small wins grow. The danger is when you break promises to yourself. Each broken promise makes bitterness stronger. Each kept promise makes better stronger. That is why self-respect is built on discipline. Remember, willpower doesn't mean you never feel weak. It means you act even while feeling weak. And the more you do that, the more you realize your feelings don't control you. You control them. The bitter path is driven by feelings. The better path is driven by choices. And once you master your willpower, bitterness loses its power over you. So when you don't feel like moving forward, say to yourself, I am stronger than my feelings. Because that simple sentence can open the door to your next victory. You scroll through social media and see someone smiling with friends, traveling to new places, buying a new car. And suddenly your own life feels smaller, weaker, not enough. Comparison is dangerous because you only see the highlights of others. You don't see their sleepless nights, their failures, their tears. You only see the best moments, and you judge yourself by them. The bitter heart whispers, they are lucky. I am unlucky. They succeed. I fail. But the truth is, your journey is not meant to look like theirs. You have your own time, your own lessons, your own path. Imagine a rose comparing itself to a sunflower. The rose thinks, I am too small. The sunflower thinks, I am not colorful enough. Both forget they are beautiful in their own way. Bitterness grows when you look left and right too often. Better grows when you look forward. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. That is the real competition. Ask yourself, did I grow today? Did I learn something new? Did I try harder than last week? These are the questions that matter. Not how many likes you have, not how perfect someone else looks. Comparison kills joy because it makes you blind to your own progress. You forget how far you have come. You forget the battles you already won. And you only see what you don't have yet. But gratitude kills bitterness. When you focus on your blessings, your health, your skills, your loved ones, your progress, you feel rich inside. Gratitude opens your eyes to what is already good. Better means saying, I respect my journey. I celebrate my progress. I honor my path. Because life is not a race. It is a story. And your story is worth telling without copying anyone else. So every time you feel jealousy, turn it into inspiration. Instead of saying, why them, say, if they can, maybe I can too. Use their success as proof that growth is possible for you as well. Bitterness compares. Better learns. Bitterness complains. Better acts. Which one will you choose the next time you see someone ahead of you? The answer decides your peace. Because your life is not meant to be a copy. It is meant to be a creation. And the moment you stop comparing, you start living fully. Everyone has an opinion about your life. Friends, family, strangers online, they all tell you what to do, what not to do, who you should be. But not all voices deserve your attention. Some people give advice based on fear. They failed, so they warn you not to try. They are bitter, so they tell you to stay small. Their words may sound protective, but they are chains in disguise. Think about it. If you want to learn English, should you ask someone who never speaks? If you want to start a business, should you ask someone who never tried? Wisdom only comes from experience. Bitterness says, listen to everyone. Better says, listen to those who walked the path. The wrong advice can keep you bitter for years. The right advice can save you years of mistakes. Sometimes even people you love may limit you. They don't mean harm, but they speak from their own fear. They say, don't risk it. Don't dream too big. But their limits don't have to be yours. Better means protecting your ears as much as your heart. Because words are seeds. If you keep planting negative seeds, don't be surprised when your life grows into bitterness. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, people who push you forward, people who remind you of your strength. These voices lift you when your own voice feels weak. And if you don't have such people yet, don't worry. Books can be your friends. Videos can be your teachers. A stranger's story can become your guide. Choose voices that give hope, not fear. The truth is, you don't need everyone to believe in you. You only need to believe in yourself. Even one strong inner voice saying, I will rise, is louder than 1,000 voices of doubt. So ask yourself, who am I listening to? Do they make me bitter or better? If the answer is bitter, it's time to step away. If the answer is better, it's time to listen more. Because the voices you choose shape the life you build. And if you want a better life, choose better voices. Many people spend years waiting for approval. They wait for a boss to notice their work, for a friend to respect their value, for a partner to see their worth. But what happens when no one chooses them? Bitterness grows. You start believing you are invisible. You start thinking you are not enough. You feel powerless because your whole identity depends on what others give or refuse to give you. But here's the truth, no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to give you permission. The world rarely claps at the beginning. It usually waits until you succeed, and then it calls you lucky. Better means picking yourself. Starting before you are ready. Approving yourself before anyone else does. Believing in your voice, your dream, your strength, even if the world is silent. Think about J.K. Rowling. 12 publishers rejected her book before one finally said yes. What if she had waited forever for someone to choose her? Instead, she picked herself, and the world followed. Your dream doesn't need everyone's approval. It only needs your decision. Because when you choose yourself every day, your actions become louder than anyone's doubts. And results always speak louder than opinions. Bitterness says, no one believes in me, so I can't. Better says, even if no one believes in me yet, I will still move. One voice keeps you waiting. The other voice keeps you growing. So stop waiting for the call that may never come. Stop waiting for the stage someone else may never offer. Build your own stage. Write your own story. Pick yourself every single time. It won't feel easy. You will doubt. You will fear. But courage is not about having no fear. Courage is about choosing yourself despite the fear. Every brave step teaches your heart new strength. When you pick yourself, something powerful happens. The world notices. Slowly, opportunities appear. Respect grows. And the very people who ignored you before begin to wonder how you did it. So ask yourself today, am I waiting for someone else to pick me, or am I choosing myself? Because the answer to that question will decide whether you stay bitter or finally become better. Most people think safety will protect them. They avoid speaking up, avoid trying, avoid dreaming big. They think if they play it safe, they won't be hurt. But what they don't see is the pain of regret. Bitterness is built from all the what ifs. What if I had tried? What if I had spoken? What if I had risked? These questions echo in the heart for years, becoming heavier than any failure ever could. Better, on the other hand, requires risk. It means stepping into the unknown, trying something without guarantee, daring to face failure. And yes, sometimes you will fall. But at least you will fall forward. Think about people you admire. Every hero, every leader, every creator had to risk something. Their money, their comfort, their reputation. Without risk, there is no story. Without risk, there is only silence. Imagine a person who always stays safe. They never fail, but they also never succeed. They never cry, but they also never feel deep joy. That life may look calm, but inside it feels empty. Better means being brave enough to say, I might fail, but I will still try. Because even in failure, you gain lessons, strength, and courage. But in never trying, you gain nothing but bitterness. The truth is, pain from risk is temporary. You learn, heal, and move on. But pain from regret lasts forever. It stays inside, reminding you daily of the life you could have lived but didn't. So don't fear failure. Fear living with no story. Fear looking back one day and realizing you let bitterness steal your chance to become something more. That is the real danger. Take small risks first. Speak English even if you make mistakes. Apply for a job even if you don't feel ready. Share your idea even if it scares you. Each risk makes you braver, and braver people live fuller lives. Bitterness says, stay safe. Better says, step out. Bitterness keeps you locked in a cage. Better gives you wings to fly. And only one of these voices will let you write a story worth remembering. So ask yourself, am I choosing safety or a story? Am I choosing bitterness or bravery? Because every risk you take is not just a step forward, it is proof that you are alive. In the end, no one remembers the life that stayed safe. They remember the life that dared. And you have the same choice today, no risk, no story. Many people misunderstand forgiveness. They think it means saying, what happened was okay. But forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing. It means choosing peace over poison. When you refuse to forgive, you keep drinking the bitterness every day. You think you are punishing the other person. But they move on. The only person still trapped is you. Forgiveness is not a gift to them. It is a gift to yourself. It is saying, I will not let your actions control my future. I deserve freedom more than I deserve revenge. Of course, forgiveness is not easy. It feels unfair. It feels painful. But the truth is, holding on to anger hurts you more than the original wound. Forgiveness begins where healing begins. Imagine carrying a heavy bag of stones everywhere you go. That is what bitterness feels like. Forgiveness is dropping the bag. Suddenly, you can breathe, move, and live again. Some people wait for an apology before forgiving. But what if the apology never comes? Will you stay bitter forever? Forgiveness is choosing freedom even without their words. It doesn't mean you must trust them again. It doesn't mean letting them back into your life. It only means releasing their power over your heart. Forgiveness is closure you give yourself. Better says, I will learn the lesson, but I won't carry the pain forever. Bitterness says, I will hold the pain as proof. Which choice will make your life lighter? The answer is clear. Think of someone who hurt you. Feel the anger rise. Now imagine yourself saying, I release this pain. I choose peace. That small act is the beginning of true healing. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but it unlocks the future. It clears the space inside you for new dreams, new love, and new joy to grow where bitterness once lived. So ask yourself today, am I still carrying anger that belongs to yesterday? And if yes, am I ready to let it go? Because your freedom depends on the answer. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is strength. And when you forgive, you don't lose. You win back your peace, your joy, and your future. Bitterness tears things down. It destroys trust, confidence, and peace. But better rebuilds. It takes the broken pieces and uses them to create something even stronger than before. Rebuilding starts small. One healthy habit, one positive word, one small goal. You don't need to rebuild your whole life in a day. You only need to place one brick of hope at a time. When you wake up, choose one action that feeds your future. Read, practice English, exercise, write. Each action may look small, but small steps become powerful when repeated daily. Bitterness keeps you in the past. Better points you to the future. And rebuilding is proof that your story is not finished, no matter how broken the last chapter felt. You will face voices saying, it's too late. You are too weak. But remember, every great building you see today was once an empty piece of ground. And your life can rise again too. Rebuilding means designing your future with intention. Ask, what kind of person do I want to become? What kind of life will make me proud? Then build habits that match those answers. It will not always feel exciting. Some days will feel slow, boring, or heavy. But better is built on discipline, not feelings. And each day of effort adds another stone to your foundation. Bitterness leaves you passive. You wait, complain, and blame. But better makes you active. You build, create, and shape your own destiny instead of waiting for life to do it for you. Think about a house destroyed by fire. The owner doesn't sit in the ashes forever. They clean, plan, and slowly rebuild. And one day, the new home stands taller than before. So will you. Celebrate your progress. Even if it feels small, honor it. 1 week of growth deserves pride. 1 month of discipline deserves joy. These moments prove you are no longer bitter, you are becoming better. So ask yourself, what is one thing I can rebuild today? It might be trust in yourself, care for your health, or belief in your dream. Choose one, and place the first brick of hope. Because your past may explain you, but it does not define you. You can rebuild. And when you do, your life will not only recover, it will become a story of transformation that inspires others. Bitterness wanted to keep you small. It wanted to steal your joy, your hope, and your future. But now you see the truth. You were never weak. You were never trapped. You always had the power to choose. Choosing better doesn't mean life becomes easy. Pain will still come. People may still disappoint you. But the difference is that pain no longer defines you. You know how to turn it into growth, not poison. Better means freedom. You walk lighter because you've dropped the heavy stones of anger. You laugh more because you no longer replay old wounds. You dream bigger because you know you can rise again. The bitter road is crowded. Many people stay there forever, blaming and waiting. But the better road is open, full of space, full of light. And now you are walking it with courage in your heart. Remember, being better is not about perfection. It's about progress. Every step forward, no matter how small, is proof that you are stronger than your past, braver than your fear, and wiser than your pain. You are not just surviving anymore. You are living. You are not just healing. You are creating. And every choice you make is shaping a future filled with peace, strength, and meaning. Think of all the people who may see your story. Your courage could be the light they need. Your transformation could be the proof they are waiting for, that life after bitterness is possible. So do not keep your journey hidden. Share it. Speak it. Live it out loud. Because when you shine, others find the courage to shine too. Your victory is not only for you, it's for everyone watching. Bitterness asks, why me? Better asks, what now? And with that simple question, your future opens wide. You no longer see yourself as a victim. You see yourself as a fighter, a builder, a creator. Your life from here is not about avoiding pain. It is about using pain as fuel, as a teacher, as a tool. Every trial will either make you bitter or better, and now you know which choice belongs to you. So I leave you with this: be the proof. Be the light. Be the person who chose better. And when life gives you another crossroad, remember that your power is not in what happens to you, but in how you answer it. If this journey touched your heart, don't walk away silently. Subscribe for more, like this video, and share your story in the comments. Your words might inspire the next person to finally choose better.